top of YouTube. Thanks to all my subscribers, all the people that have been viewing my videos that have yet to subscribe. It's all good. Thanks to YouTube yet again for allowing this to be my personal soapbox. Alright. And it's pushing spring here. You know, the weather's been nice for the past couple of days. And it's all good. Some of the college students are already on spring break, and everybody just seems to be enjoying themselves. You know how it is when the sun is out. A lot of people are smiling more, and they're a lot more active, which is healthy. Alright, and today's video, critical thinking. Being a critical thinker, I have a couple of points from critical thinkers over the years, brief statements about their point of view and them critiquing others in the area of critical thinking. Alright? And just for me, you know, my personal definition for a critical thinker or critical thinking is that it involves one's close observation of what is expressed or concerning a given inference or argument. See, me, I will inject certain ideas into conversation to probe, because in doing so, you will find out where someone else's ideas or their random thoughts lie. And again, as I've mentioned before, probing can be troublesome in certain matters. In regards to this particular subject, you can objectively say yes, no. Alright? Also, with critical thinking, it's skilled interpretation of evidence, logical analysis, seeing what the problems are, and executing a feasible plan. And again, that is my definition. Alright? Not Webster's, not whoever. Dictionary.com. That's my definition off the top of my head. And I was actually given an assignment at my school, DeVry University, Keller grad, trying to become a scholar. I had an assignment, and part of that assignment was to come up with our own definitions, the best you could. I thought that was fun and interesting. But just thinking about critical thinking, man, you know, I think about what our local politicians, congressmen and women, the president, his staff, the military staff, other military personnel, intel, things of that nature. This whole ordeal with the threat coming from North Korea. What do? What does your logic tell you to tell the American people about this potential threat from afar? Who is saying that, oh wow, we dumb down some situations just to appease. We're ready. You know, do you take the poker face and call it a bluff? Or do you take it for quote unquote face value? It's all up to the opponent. Alright? You know, a good friend of mine, his stepfather, had mentioned that, you know, you wouldn't show your left hand what the right hand's doing. Great point. Great point. And actually, I had brought that out of him again by probing. And I made a statement that was made publicly on television. But, in the midst of four gentlemen, having dinner, I figured I'd throw it out there. Right? Thinking about Alex Osborne's brainstorming idea. And that is, it was developed in the last century, capitalizes on the organization of the human brain. The second part is definition, different brain functions of each side of the brain. The left side is the logical, analytical, practical side, good for convergent thinking. All right. And convergent thinking is saying that, you have several ideas and answers, possibly, that are thought of initially, and then converging them meaning come to one point on one answer or idea. And that is what you call convergent thinking. All right. And it's just, what do you do? What do you do with this power that you have that sits on your shoulders? You also have what's called divergent thinking, starting with one idea and diverging into several different ideas. Some of us remember in school when they told us, well, draw yourself a web, and from this idea, draw branches. I think trees were symbolic of, spider webs were symbolic of these brainstorming webs. When I was coming through school, rather, and it's always good to brainstorm, because you never know what's going to come out of that. You may find your niche. You may find something that everyone was waiting for and is willing to purchase. All right. There have also been some other great thinkers to come along and analyze people's perceptions. And I have a quote here. And this is from C. M. Mancuso. Look him up. All right. And this quote: "Beware the man who knows the answer before he understands the question." End quote. And again, that's C. M. Mancuso. Heuristics. HEURISTICS. Guides to solving problems, and there lies rules of thumb that are not guaranteed to work perfectly. Heuristics. All right. And there are a lot of other things that I think about when you think about critical thinking. You get a certain amount of money. You have to bathe yourself. You have to have some food, some sustenance. You have to be able to take care of utilities. Have some clothes on your back. And who else knows what there may be attractive to the human eye. Critical thinking will allow you to say, well, I don't need to make a purchase to acquire stuff. Critical thinking will allow you to say, I need to check out what these going rates are on these investments, whether it be real estate, whether it be with the banking, whether it be with the stocks, futures, options, mutual funds. All very critical when talking about finances. Very critical thinking comes into play when you talk about those sorts of financial dealings. All right. Problem solving, even. For example, let's say you have a vice president of a company. You may have trouble finding qualified people. He wants to save money, but all at the same token, he wants to have the best of the best. You have to make a decision there. You have to draw the line critically. What's logically sound in that scenario? Do you want to save money and settle for what's local? Or invest in a fruitful candidate whose background would be far superb to any others? If you want quality, you have to pay for it. This is America. All right. I know a lot of times dealings with people and just learning to critique your own interpersonal skills. It involves a level of critical thinking. Absolutely. Why do we curse? For lack of trying, utilizing better vocabulary. There's a lack of. That's what they say. Right? So, instead of having that meltdown moment with the significant other, spouse, what have you, family member, friend, complete stranger, critically think about the situation to diffuse, back out of. There's a solution there. Use your God-given noodle, and you'll find the answer. All right. I think about what's called futuring in terms of critical thinking. Distant future, your imagination, impossible now, but might be possible in the future. See, get out of the typical left brain way of thinking. Practical orientations. You'll begin to see that something can develop, and don't allow the OPV, other people's views. You can't allow that to be your pit stop. Forget the pitfall. You can do that. You can dig your own grave. Don't allow other people's views to be that pit stop. All right? Again, the right side of your brain is nonverbal, emotional, intuitive, good for divergent thinking. All right? Use it. That's what it was. They say we were made in the image of. If you look at everything around us, all right, you think about people coming together, such as a team. Right? How will the team members share the work? When will all members need to have their part together? How will you manage the team members? Or how will the team members manage the project, the business, the situation? How will you choose the leader? What will be the responsibilities of the leader? You know, what potential conflicts might arise among or between team members during the course of this business? You know, all of this is thinking very critically, in those areas of people coming together, man. And you have different personalities. People are going to clash. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to have people that are going to that will build friendships from the ground up like Legos, and it'll be beneficial in and outside of business. All right. And even in business, in doing so, coming together as what you would call a team, you have to critically think about the strengths, the weaknesses. Should we go forward in this area? Are we ready to go forward in this area? Is this somebody we should be doing business with? What will we look like 5 years down the line if we don't take part in this particular stock, or we don't allow these stakeholders, angel investors and such, to materially or not materially participate? All prevalent questions for critical thinkers. That's all I have today, YouTube. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, just as I hope you've enjoyed any of my other videos. Alright, shout out to my family. One love to all my homies here in Bowie and uptown. You all take care. One love.